Why young and restless fans think Roger Howarth's exit will not be permanent. The young and the restless Roger Howarth, who played Matt Clark, left a great impression on the fans of the show. After his confrontation with the Newmans, Matt had to leave Genoa City. Now, fans are worried that they've seen the last of the villain. But is he truly gone? Here are the details on the character's fate. Will Roger Howarth's exit as Matt Clark be permanent on The Young and the Restless? The Young and the Restless has had some compelling villains, but Roger Howarth's Matt Clark is one of the recent fan favorites. The actor appeared on the show on October 31, 2025, as Mitch Bacall. Later, it was revealed that his true identity is Matt Clark, the show's longtime villain. Nearly 25 years later, Matt Clark has returned from the dead. However, despite the many changes, Sharayan Newman recognized him, reigniting old memories. He stirred up quite the more drama in the last few weeks, especially involving the Newmans. But after his latest run-in with them, it seemed like the character had already finished his time on the show. Fortunately, there's some good news. Howarth has reportedly signed a short-term story arc contract for his time on the show via Soap Hub. So, fans can expect the character to return soon. And since he had vowed to take revenge for what happened, there was very little reason not to anticipate his return. However, there is currently no news on when the character could come back. The Young and the Restless introduced Matt Clark in the early 90s, who was played by Eddie Cibrian at the time. Over the years, a few actors have played the role, including General Hospital's Rick Hurst. Howarth, who is also popular for his role on General Hospital, took over the role in August 2025 and debuted at the end of October. So, when will Roger Howarth's Matt Clark return to The Young and the Restless? Keep tuning in to the show to find out. The post Why Young and Restless Fans Think Roger Howarth's Exit Will Not Be Permanent appeared first on comingsoon.net, movie trailers, TV and streaming news, and more. Soap operas thrive on surprise returns, identity twists, and resurrected villains. In the arc of Matt Clark, originally, decades ago, the character was written off as dead. His believed dead status gave the impression of finality. But now, under Howarth, the character has resurfaced after 25 years. Coming soon +2 24magazine.com +2. Because YNR, and soaps generally, love dramatic comebacks, many fans assume the exit is only part of a longer story, a pause rather than an end. As one industry insider wrote, the fact that Howarth's contract is reportedly a short-term story arc leaves open the possibility that he, or Matt Clark, could reappear. Coming soon. Thus, in a world where dead can turn out to be very much alive, permanence is rarely permanent. Warning 2. Howarth's contract and production reality? Short arc is not equal to forever. From what's been reported, Howarth signed on for a short-term story arc coming soon. Short contracts are common in soaps to test new characters, stir drama, and then, sometimes, extend if the character strikes a chord. Because of that, many fans interpret exit as a scripted interlude, a dramatic moment to reset storylines, generate suspense, but not necessarily a definitive goodbye. Also, in the soap world, exit often means see you later, not farewell forever. So rationally, if ratings climb or fan reaction is strong, as is currently the case, writers and producers often bring key characters back. Red Heart 3. Fan attachment to the actor, not just the character. To understand the optimism around Howarth's return, you must appreciate his legacy. He's not just another actor, he's someone with decades of soap experience and a dedicated fan base. Before YNR, Howarth played major roles on other daytime dramas. EW.com +2 UPI +2. The moment fans learned he joined YNR, many were excited, hopeful he'd bring his characteristic intensity and nuance. On social media and fan comment sections, some wrote that Howarth is too talented to be wasted on a short arc and deserve a long-term contract. All +2 Parade +2. In other words, even if the writers planned a limited arc, audience demand, especially from devoted Howarth fans, could sway decisions. It's one thing to kill off a character, it's another to lose an actor with a loyal following and proven dramatic chops. Repeat button 4. History of recasting, returns, so many precedents. Soap operas like Y&R have a long history of recasting roles or resurrecting characters. The story of Matt Clark itself is an example. The character was gone, only to return, decades later, with a new face and new identity, Mitch Bacall. Coming soon +224magazine.com+2. Plus, Howarth himself has a history of playing multiple roles in different soaps, sometimes returning under new characters. This adaptability and fluidity in casting makes fans naturally skeptical of final exits. Given that precedent, it's easier to believe that what seems like a conclusion now could just be the next chapter. Fire 5. Dramatic potential and storyline hooks left hanging. From what fans and press have discussed, Matt Clark's return stirred up major drama, particularly affecting longtime characters like the Newmans. His interactions reignited old wounds, and there's been mention of revenge and unresolved story arcs. Coming soon +2 AOL+2. Given those unresolved tensions, betrayals, memories, vengeance, there's narrative incentive for the writers to keep Clark in the mix. Soap fans know dangling chaos and unfinished business are rarely abandoned. So from a storytelling perspective, it makes sense to think this exit could be a hiatus, a dramatic beat before the next big crater in Genoa City. Thought Balloon 6. Fan stories, social media buzz, and collective hope. Beyond just logic or story dynamics, there's emotion. On social media and fan forums, many viewers express hope, belief, even demand for Howarth's return. Some voices say Y&R has been needing a facelift, and Howarth's casting was a bright spot. Daily Soap Dish +1 others argue that the chemistry, presence, and history he brings still matters, and that losing him would be a wasted opportunity. Because soap fandom thrives on hope, nostalgia, and what if, this communal belief takes on power. When enough fans believe a return is coming, and maybe even demand it, sometimes the showrunners heed. In short, collective will sometimes shapes narrative reality in soap universes. Puzzle piece 7. Mixed feelings. Why some are skeptical but still hope. That said, it's not all rosy. There are fans, even among longtime watchers, who worry that putting Howarth in a short arc as a villain with a dark past, as Matt Clark, could backfire. Some fear the character may end up in jail, dead, or forgotten once the arc concludes. Bal +1. And indeed, soaps often use villains for dramatic bursts, then write them off once the shock value fades. So there's a real possibility that this exit is final, or at least long-term. But even skeptics admit, with Howarth's track record and the history of soap resurrections, they wouldn't rule out a comeback either. In other words, even among doubters, there remains cautious hope. Memo 8. What it says about fan relationship with soaps, and why it matters.